Hi, I'm Trip Babbitt, and if you haven't already watched what I would consider the first video of kind of this series, I would urge you to do so. It's an overview document. You'll see it as the trailer in my YouTube channel. It talks about being efficient versus being effective, and I think that's a good place to start. It will make this video a little bit clearer for you. Anyway, I'll put a link to it down below. There are two ways of thinking, and one is analytical and the other is synthetic. And an analytical thinker is pretty natural to humans, to managers, to people in general. And it really entails just breaking things down into pieces. So, and if you look across organizations, this is in essence what they've done by taking each piece and breaking it down into departments. When we look at our organization, we have a department in operations and sales and finance and however your organization is broken apart. And so this is very natural for humans to do. And there are really three components to analytical thinking. One is that you take it apart, and then you understand the parts, and then you explain the behavior of the whole through the parts. And this kind of goes along with the thinking of why we look at a lot at the individual in organizations as good or bad as far as an employee goes, their performance. And this isn't true. I mean, in essence, the individual is part of a broader system of the organization, for starters. And then, from individual to team, maybe to department to the organization. And the whole thinking from an organizational design standpoint is that this parts optimization is the way to improve things. And again, most executives think in this way. We all do, but we don't take into account the second component of thinking, which is synthetic. And this gets to we want to understand what the system it entails. And so if we're an individual, yes, we're part of a team, we're part of a department, we're part of a larger organization, and understanding that the purpose of that larger organization is kind of where you want to start. So the three components there is, well, one I just mentioned, which is to understand what system that you are a part of. So if you're an individual, you're part of a broader system of a team, you're a broader system of a department, a broader system of the organization. And getting to at least that organizational level, understanding its purpose becomes very important to synthetic thinking. The second thing is you understand the function of the system. What is it there for? And this is one of the things that why I think organizations struggle to come up with a purpose or an aim for their organization is because they haven't used their synthetic brains. They're still viewing things at a department level or a team level or a unit level or even an individual level. And so with the understanding that we have about what the organizational purpose is, that larger containing system is then can be disaggregated. And this then starts from a purpose standpoint. And the purpose of the system is such a key component to an organization. And most organizations don't even know why. As a matter of fact, most of the time people write mission, vision, values, and key measurements, but they're not even looking at things from a synthetic standpoint. And this is problematic with organizations trying to write a purpose because they've only got half the thinking, the analytical part, but not the synthetic portion. And you really need that synthetic thinking in order to understand the purpose of your organization. So a purpose for your organization, or sometimes I refer to it as an aim, can't be built through this analytical lens. And it really starts with understanding that the system or in this case, I'm using the organization, the broader system that in which you might work in is greater than the sum of its parts. And in a matter of fact, it's the interaction of those parts that make it react exponentially greater than just sums. And so this is a huge difference in thinking, and developing this synthetic thinking is foundational to everything else. So to be an effective executive requires synthetic thinking, in my view. So how do I approach this? Well, this is a lot of the training, the executive education program that I have is that you're going to be constructing a system map so that you can look through a customer lens and you can look through a thinking lens and understand the whole much better by taking you through a series of steps to construct it. And from this, you're going to uncover new insights into your organization that you probably hadn't seen before. And this will then help inform building the purpose of your organization and also helping you develop your synthetic thinking. So that's what I wanted to cover in the effective executive analytic versus synthetic type thinking. And hopefully you picked up something from it.